Hey, folks, welcome to another exciting episode of the Chad Prather Show. We're going to get right into it. The left exploded on Sunday after President Trump attended the Daytona 500 and used the infamous armored limousine nicknamed the Beast to conduct the ceremonial first lap on the track. The New York Post blasted the president for the misuse of taxpayer dollars. Did taxpayers just pay for Air Force One to do a flyover and deposit Trump to be driven in his limousine and all the Secret Service this stunt must have entailed? Well, I don't know. Do we dare bring up the numerous overseas trips that taxpayers were forced to pay while the Obama family toured Europe? Imagine that. Leftists finally showing interest in your taxpayer dollars after they've spent years, decades even, throwing your money down the drain. And since when did the leftist elite begin caring about anything that happens at a NASCAR race? That's right. As soon as the president got involved. They blasted the stunt as an early campaign move to try to swing Florida voters. And so what? Is it a surprise that Trump is planning a re-election campaign? I mean, duh. And he's going to win the thing, especially after reactions like this from the left. Now, some link the president's appearance at the annual race to that of course, Hitler and his lap around the track at the 1936 Berlin Summer Olympics. I mean, would you people please give me a break at this point? Comparing Trump to a dictator is quite a stretch, but that's exactly what the left wants. They want those images to become synonymous with the way the country views Trump, MAGA, the working class, Republicans at large, yes, you. The more of a connection they can draw between these two images, the more uproar they can cause in November. Now, Twitter users were quick to drag fans of the Daytona 500 by saying that the president was merely targeting his core demographic, or as they put it, a group of obese, toothless, heavily tattooed, drunken fans and their husbands. Now, the left is accepting of all the people, right? All the people, very tolerant. They preach love and acceptance, but only if you do the right song and dance. News outlets, verified Twitter accounts, and keyboard warriors alike call Trump's Daytona 500 appearance a perfect example of a propaganda used by a classic dictatorship, but that's far from the truth. Let's be honest, this is not a true dictatorship. Come on, people. This is not true authoritarianism, and it's far from it. You see, we as Americans, listen to me, we don't know real struggle, and that's the truth. Our generation and the generations following us are the most pampered, self-serving, selfish group of individuals we have. Listen, we haven't suffered, folks, not the way our grandparents or the generation before them did. We didn't live through the Great Depression, drought, famine. We weren't drafted. We have no reference for standing in a bread line or using segregated bathrooms. We are a lush society, spoiled even. That's our reality. And while we sit in the land of the free crying out for gluten-free, cage-free, vegan, non-GMO, locally sourced, ethically cared for, and soy-based, organically raised foods, others around the world are facing the realities of real hunger and starvation. The rights we are, quote, fighting for, well, they're first world luxuries compared to other places that are still fighting for the right to live without overarching authoritarian rule. Nations where speaking freely against those in elected office is still punishable by jail time or even death. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. One word that could be perceived as critical or harsh, and you're done. While American women protest attacks on tampons, women in Iran fight to even show their faces. While Bernie supporters are crying over his support of the dairy industry, most notably during one of his recent rallies, and all the while...
Bernie, I'm your biggest supporter, and I'm here to ask you to stop propping up the dairy industry and to stop propping up animal agriculture.
And all the while, 800,000 Syrians are displaced in their homeland, living in overcrowded camps, fighting for food, while others fight to have LGBTQ plus representation in movies and free use of bathrooms. Some fight just to be seen as human. Some struggle to survive in countries that are hell-bent on eradicating those who identify as anything but straight. And we as Americans know nothing of true struggle. We are pampered. We are spoiled. Do you want to know a true dictatorship? Well, I want you to look no further than Vladimir Putin, where school children are encouraged and guided to refer to the president as Uncle Vova. They worship him like an idol, a living deity, not out of choice, but obligation. He's turned the entire country into his fan base, but not by free will. He's a man who served 2 presidential terms, one spanning from 2000 to 2008 and the current beginning in 2012 and projected to last until 2024. So the people of Russia are careful to express their disdain for him, and yet in each election he wins by a landslide. Now that's collusion if I've ever seen it. Bombastic displays of propaganda riddle national television. In 2011, a deep-sea expedition involving Putin was broadcast on national TV. He sank 20 feet down into the water and immediately discovered buried treasure neatly placed at the seafloor. A national hero paraded across the TV. The Renaissance man. He could do anything. Last May, Putin participated in a showcase of one of his favorite pastimes, hockey. He dominated the rink unsurprisingly and single-handedly scored 8 out of 10 winning goals. What a Renaissance man. He can do anything. Can you imagine being on that team? I wouldn't even want to touch the puck, and God forbid anybody checks him into the glass. He lives for applause, praise, admiration, and glory, and he wants to be coveted, and he will do whatever it takes to get it. This is a country in which those who speak up and speak out against Putin and the regime are forced into modern-day gulags and work camps. Or worse, some are even met with a bullet.
What appears to be a vicious political assassination. A popular outspoken critic of the Russian President Vladimir Putin shot in the back right out in the open, just blocks from the Kremlin.
Now let's take Boris Nemtsov as a prime example. A journalist, unafraid of speaking the truth when it came to Vladimir Putin. He paid the ultimate price for his free speech in 2015 when he was mysteriously assassinated while out for a jog in Red Square. Months before his death, this is what he had to say about the supreme leader.
Do you worry about what's going to happen to you?
Everybody who are against him must be very careful. I think that we must replace him because he did everything against an interest of my country.
Hey, America, that's what a dictatorship looks like. Now, you may be thinking Boris was assassinated all the way back in 2015. Surely this doesn't happen now. Wrong! Just over a week ago, prominent Putin critic and Chechen blogger Imran Aliyev was found dead in his hotel room. No, not just dead. This man was found with his throat slit and dozens of stab wounds in a crime scene that local French police could only describe as a product of extreme savagery. Aliyev was a native of Chechen Republic and another great example of true dictatorship and abuse at the hands of elected officials. The president of the Chechen Republic, Ramzan Kadyrov, is quite the charmer in his own right. His biggest enactment while in office has been to purge the Chechen Republic of gay men, many of whom have been kidnapped, beaten, and tortured by groups hired on behalf of the Chechen government to, quote, purify the land.
I was taken and held for 3 days. They brought me back home in a sack and threw me into the yard and said, "Here's your son, he's gay."
I wanted to ask you about the alleged roundup, abduction, and torture of gay men in the Republic.
Это ерунда. У нас таких людей нету. Нету у нас геев. Если есть, заберите в Канаду, хвала Аллаху, подальше от нас, чтобы очистили кровь там, если есть таких, пусть забирают там.
Folks, that's brutality. That's hardship. That's a dictator. So you want to sit up and talk about Trump, the dictator? How about you live a suppressed and oppressed life under the Trump regime, right? You know, being denied basic human rights like free college, free maxi pads, free gender reassignment surgeries, while others across the world dream of a basic level of freedom and human dignity we take for granted every single day. Feel free to complain. Continue to type out your frustrations to the world about the oppressive society you live in. Express your disdain for this unfair president because you live in this country. You got the freedom to do that. I'm sure you'll find someone to sympathize with you, but it won't be me. So here's a tip for those of you on the left. Check your privilege. Hey guys, you know Black Rifle Coffee Company is a veteran-owned and operated premium small batch roast-to-order coffee company for people who love America, people like you. They import only the highest quality beans from around the world and always roast-to-order their coffees after you place your order to ensure that you receive the freshest coffee available. They're going to develop their explosive roast profiles with the same mission focus they learned as military members serving this great country. All Black Rifle Coffee Company blends are available in whole bean and ground varieties. They also have mini roasts available for purchase in single-serve coffee rounds. And listen to me, folks, the best way to enjoy this freedom-filled coffee is with the Black Rifle Coffee Club. You choose the amount and the blends that you crave, and they offer it to you at a special discounted price, shipped free directly to your home or office every single month. This added convenience allows you to keep working hard, making America the land of the free and the home of the brave, and you'll never have to rush to the store again. So wake up to America's coffee by going to blackriflecoffee.com/watchchad. That's blackriflecoffee.com/watchchad. And if you enter the discount code WatchChad, you'll receive 20% off your first order of any coffee products. And guess what? It includes the Black Rifle Coffee Club. Go there right now. It is party time, Mom, in Trump's dictatored America. Is dictator a word?
Yes.
I don't know, Candice.
I
is
vote
it?
yes.
You vote yes?
Yes.
Hot news, Natalie?
Dictatored.
I feel dictatored.
Do you feel dictatored?
I do, man.
I feel dictatored a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
Donald Trump makes me feel dictatored. I mean,
rude.
how dare he come in with that brash display on Air Force One over the Daytona 500 with those thousands of fans screaming because they are forced to do so. Mm-hmm. Man, who knew that at a NASCAR race, a Trump rally was going to break out? But that's exactly what happened.
For sure.
I love that Trump continues to go to all these sporting events, whether it's the national game, the national championship game for the college football, or
he went to Army Navy where I was,
he went
and
to Army Navy, the SEC championship.
He did a flyby.
Yeah.
At the stadium. It was brilliant. I got there early just to watch it.
I made a comment the other day to someone where I said Trump is genuinely a redneck. And they said, no, he's not. And I said, look, I've traveled all over this world, and I know that redneck is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's all over the globe. I've seen it, okay? People are people. Trump, yes, he's from New York. Yes, he's a mogul. Yes, he's a billionaire. Yes, he's a playboy. Yes, he's been all these things. But he's a redneck. Look, first of all, you don't have hair like that and not be a redneck. You got a little bit of white trash in you if you have hair like that. And I'm just making sense, Steve.
Yeah,
I'm just making, I know. Listen, and did you see Steve's mugshot picture on his new T-shirt?
I told him he was really good looking.
He was good looking.
I don't know what happened, but
couldn't he have a girlfriend back then?
On an episode soon, we're going to show that mugshot. Because I really want to break down that mugshot picture for everybody, but it's the pure redneck. Now, back to Trump. Trump is just in his element. He comes out. He's just with his people. And like we were talking about with Charlie Kirk the other day on the show, I said, how is it that Trump relates so well to the common man? And Charlie had a perfect answer. He said, because he spent his whole life walking job sites, talking to these people and spending time with people who work unions and work hourly wages and all of these things. And I know everybody's going to sit there and say, oh, yeah, but he's mistreated all these people, blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever. But I got the text message yesterday from the Mike Bloomberg campaign. I was very nice. Can we, with so much at stake, can we count on your vote from Mike Bloomberg? I was very polite. I said, well, with this booming economy and this record low unemployment rate, I think I'll stick with President Trump. She said, okay, thank you for your response. Hope you have a nice day. And I said, I hope you do too.
That was nice.
Wasn't it?
Great
that
interaction.
Was a computer. It wasn't a real person.
No, it was maybe Sarah.
Oh, maybe Sarah.
Maybe.
It was maybe Sarah. You know how when somebody shows up and they're not in your...
Sarah.
That freaks me out because...
It knows their name?
It does. It pulls it from your emails. It pulls it from everywhere.
Oh, yeah, of course it does.
At some point, you've emailed some Democrat, so...
Whatever.
Yep.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I love all people. There was a statistic, Candace, that came out this week. This was an interesting thing. It said that 84%, and I'm guessing here, I'm getting close to it. I can't remember the exact statistic, but when polled, like 84% of conservatives said that they would be friends with liberals. But only 25% of liberals said that they would be friends with a conservative, so they just couldn't do it. Now, that's an interesting statistic right there.
That doesn't surprise me.
But it doesn't surprise you based on what you've seen.
Yes.
Right? And I don't like that. That's a horrible fact if that's true.
76% of all statistics are made up. So.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
As Mark Twain said, there are lies, damn lies, and statistics. So who knows? I just know that I saw video yesterday of Caitlin Bennett and our buddy, anyway. Did you see that where they were at Ohio University? And they were getting water thrown on them, and they were getting cussed. They had, Joel
I didn't
Patrick
see that.
had his big 4x4.
Ugh.
And Joel's a black guy, by the way.
Yeah, I do know who he is.
Yeah, so good friend of ours, and he's got that train horn on his truck.
It's great.
Oh.
Subtle.
But the name of his truck, and by the way, it's all jacked up, and it's painted orange.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called the Trumpkin. So that's pretty solid on Joel's part. But I mean, just to see how people get treated with stuff like this.
So they got water thrown on them?
Well, water and coffee, and
okay.
The mass of people that were around their truck crowding them and things like that. And the cops were there just kind of standing there watching the whole thing.
That's the crazy left, right? Because you and I have liberal friends. I have liberal friends. We don't talk politics because that would just be a big fat waste of time.
Yeah.
But I have people that I respect, that, we respect each other, and I like them.
Sure.
So that crazy left, like crazy right.
Well, the thing that bugs me at this stage in the game is when you have people who say, well, Chad, you're being divisive. Why are you a part of the problem? How am I being divisive for having a conviction about what I believe and stating what I believe and what I feel is good? How is that divisive?
Yeah,
at what point in time did just stating your opinion become divisive? It is okay for us to disagree on things. It's okay. We live in this crazy, crazy world where people are just supposed to put their head in the sand and not discuss anything that they believe in anymore because that is supposedly divisive. People are so thin-skinned that it's offensive. And I just don't buy into that philosophy. So yesterday, Candace, you'll find this interesting as well. There were people who were watching the podcast on YouTube, and if you notice down at the bottom in the live comments, there's a little $sign where people can donate. There were people donating money to the podcast yesterday, unsolicited and unasked for, because they said, we love speech that's not politically correct. And the fact that I called out AOC and called her a slut, they said, we love that a man will still use the word slut in the 21st century. And I said, I'll use the word slut for $10 every day. Now you can call me a whore.
Hey, if I say slut, can I get $1?
You get no money, Steve.
Damn.
No money. Anyway, it's a fascinating world we live in. I don't believe in political correctness. I think it's demonic. I think it's straight out of the pit of hell, right? It's just something that corrupts society. Like, for instance, we have certain things that we sell on our website at watchchad.com. Sometimes they're politically motivated and they have our things. We do the same thing on our shop.blazemedia.com site where the podcast merch is. And the crazy thing there is when I try to boost those posts every now and then, maybe throw $100 at it, they won't let me do it. They won't let me do it because it's politically motivated. But yet I see ads all the time for politically motivated things.
Do you see my ads when I put them up? Because I pay for some ads for some of my stuff.
Steve, you got to spend more than $5, dude. Oh. You got to spend more than $5 on the ad.
Yeah, I keep it cheap.
Yeah,
I do $5 a day.
I know. Steve's like, I just want to spend like 85 cents.
Yeah. You can reach 200 people.
Oh, my gosh. It's all about capitalism. Hey, we're going to get into some headlines here in a minute because some interesting things going on around the world. But if you own a car or a house, you know that shopping for insurance is a mind-numbing, soul-sucking process that can take forever, but you need to have insurance. Of course you do. So stop overpaying for it. You can get a lower rate for the exact same coverage you already have with help from Gabby. Gabby takes the pain out of shopping for insurance by giving you apples-to-apples comparison of your current coverage with 40 of the top insurance providers, the folks like Progressive, Nationwide, and Travelers. So just link your current insurance account, and in about 2 minutes, seriously, 2 minutes, you'll be able to see quotes for the exact same coverage you currently have. That's what I did. Simply logged in using my current insurance provider, and in 2 minutes, there were a dozen quotes that were saving me 20%. No lie. Already, look, it's going to happen for you too. Quick, easy, simple. Gabby customers save somewhere around $825 per year on average. And if they can't find you savings like they did for me, they're going to let you know so you can relax knowing you have the best rate out there. Gabby's free to use. They'll never sell your info, so you don't have to worry about the annoying spam or robocalls. So take 2 minutes right now to start saving on your car and homeowner's insurance. Go to Gabby.com/WatchChad for a limited time. If they can't find you savings on your insurance, you'll get a $10 Amazon gift card. That's Gabby, Gabby.com/WatchChad. Gabby.com/WatchChad. Terms and conditions apply, and I need you to see the site for the details on that Amazon deal because Amazon's not a sponsor of this promotion. When we come back after this brief little break of boom, 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 we will be bringing you today's headlines. Hang in there. We're coming right back with more of the Chad Prather Show. Welcome back, Playboys and Playgirls, to Studio 22. We were praying yesterday. Listen, that was talking about Daytona 500. There's a horrific wreck right there on the final lap as they finished with Ryan Newman. Thank God.
Yes.
He wasn't killed. I mean, this thing was, when you look at, this is 19 years ago today that Dale Earnhardt died at Daytona. And it was a very similar crash in the instant that he crashed into the wall the way Dale did. And, when Dale Earnhardt crashed in the wall at Daytona, it didn't look like a major accident. Of course, when you're going from 200 to stop that fast, it's a different deal. But the technology and the safety that has developed because of Dale's death at Daytona, it's amazing how they've progressed with all of that. And you can't say enough about, one, the grace of God in that situation, but the technology and safety equipment in those cars, because that was savage what Ryan Newman went through yesterday. And just the way the thing flipped, it was on his head, and then he went airborne and landed on his head again. It was a bad, bad deal. And so immediately, a lot of folks, Twitter erupted with that. And, of course, the report that came out was he's in serious condition, but it's not life-threatening. So thank God for that. Tough deal. Anyway, let's get into a couple of headlines here. A
lot happened at Daytona. It was a very dramatic. That was a very dramatic.
It was
showdown.
It was. Yeah. And congratulations to Denny Hamlin and the Joe Gibbs team. I'm not a NASCAR guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a NASCAR guy, but I appreciate those who are. Right. That is a wild following there.
Yeah,
yes.
Back in my mullet days, I was a NASCAR fan, but then I let the mullet grow out and, outgrew it, I guess.
I don't know. I'm just not a NASCAR guy. I can appreciate like the last 3 laps, 5 laps, whatever.
Yeah.
But just to sit there all day long and woo!
I have a friend that's a jackman for Richard Childress Racing.
Jackman.
Jackman, isn't that right? I could be saying that. Or the fuel putter inner. I don't know which one it is, but. So he allowed us to get on pit row, and when those engines do fire up and when they do pass you, it's a pretty powerful feeling.
It's powerful, and it's like loud, and you get hit with specks of rubber.
Yeah.
Right.
Sounds like your prom night, doesn't it?
Yeah. People are like, gosh, I can't understand why Natalie, that is my life. Like, I'm just, I go hot, fast.
I went to a race at Texas Motor Speedway a few years ago, and, the cars are coming around, and the rubber's hitting you in the face, and this guy's, he's collecting the pieces of rubber. Piece of rubber hit me in the face! And he's putting it in a little box because he was keeping it. And, insane.
Anyway, the Mayo Clinic, the Mayo Clinic, everybody, if you want to go to medical school, I would apply at the Mayo Clinic because they got 364 applicants that came in, applications. They accepted all of them. It was by mistake. So remember that when you go in for that major surgery, folks.
Oh, man.
They may not be qualified. But there was a glitch, always a glitch, right? And that's what happened. The admissions dean told CNN that, can you imagine getting accepted to the Mayo Clinic to go to school, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, wait. You've called all the family, and you've told them, I'm in.
That's sad. And then to have to be the guy who makes the call.
Yeah.
And say, sorry.
Sorry, bro.
No, you just send an email.
Yeah.
Bad news.
Just kidding. Yeah, just kidding. So that's disappointing. Anyway, did you see the picture of, we got in trouble last year when we were talking about the service animals. We talk about service animals all the time. I love to make fun of it. Look, if you need a service animal, more power to you. Bring your service animal. Do whatever you got to do to be you. I don't really care. But I again reserve the right to make fun of it. I can't stand somebody who brings their Chihuahua service animal through and it pisses all over the floor and is pooping in the because that's not a trained service animal. It's like we were talking about coming out of Florida a few weeks ago, West Palm Beach, and this old couple was literally dragging their Boston Terrier around. It didn't want to be there, and it just wasn't moving its feet, and they're just dragging it behind them like a brick on a leash.
With its service dog vest on.
Yes.
Yeah,
this thing just, how they can't breathe, all flat-faced and everything. But anyway, we saw the picture. We talked about the service horses, the mini horses, because those are mini horses and dogs can be registered as
Are you
service
talking about
animal.
the Nacho Libre one?
This is the one. I don't know the name.
No,
this
he's
is not the
it's
same
Fred.
one. This is not the same lady, is it?
No.
This is
Oh.
a different lady, a new lady that
This
is
one,
bringing
she
her
dresses him
horse
up like Nacho
on a
Libre.
plane.
No.
And this is
I
an
don't know.
emotional support animal.
Yeah.
So stay on task, y'all.
That's it.
So the other day, she brought Fred. Is that the one?
Yes, that's Nacho Libre.
Okay, I don't care. The Lucha Libre. It's dressed to look like a wrestler, a Mexican wrestler. Okay.
Yes.
So, which is a Lucha Libre.
I'm anti
Stop talking about Mexicans right now. I don't want to hear about it again. They put him in first class, and people got upset. And they're going to outlaw this, right? So it's just weird. I mean, it is a tiny little horse. Put him in his little outfit.
Look, see, there he is. Look at that little.
It's all cute for a minute, and then it's like
No, it's not cute at all.
For a minute, you're like, but not on a plane.
I think he's cute.
Not in the airport. Not when you're sitting in first class.
He smells.
I mean, you got the dude last week who the woman's reclined and the dude's in the back row and the thing, and he's punching the seat,
Yes.
Punch him.
Tapped him in the forehead a few times.
Yeah.
He
But then
deserved
you're
that.
going to have people who are going to get on. There have been people who got on with the guinea pig. We talked about the guinea pig thing where the girl got pissed off and just flushed it down the toilet because they didn't want it to happen. So she took her guinea pig and flushed it, just sucked it. Woo. Those airplane lavatories are violent, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I hate them. I always hold my ears.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
It sucked it down.
It's like some power behind it.
Did I ever tell you about the time I cleaned out the hamster cage with the shop vac?
And you sucked up the hamster?
Yeah.
Of course you did.
I don't have a hamster cage to clean out anymore.
Yeah. So anyway, the U.S. Transportation Department recently announced plans to tighten the laws so that only dogs actually trained to help disabled qualify for flights. Emotional support squirrel got kicked off a flight. The woman got kicked off with her
Peacock.
squirrel. There was the peacock thing. I don't know. I hate people.
It's a bunch of BS.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos, who, richest guy on the planet?
Ever. Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Who founded Amazon.com. I've helped make him rich. My wife's definitely helped make him rich.
Definitely.
He's going to donate $10 billion to fight climate change. I mean, talk about pissing your money away. Good Lord.
How about homeless people?
Look, he's done a lot of charity. I appreciate that he needs the tax write-off and stuff like that. But, okay, so he's starting a new initiative called the Bezos Earth Fund. It's going to help people. Well, Amazon, the company he runs has an enormous carbon footprint. Last year, Amazon officials said the company would work to have 100% of its energy come from solar panels and other renewable energy by 2030. But I don't know why, because AOC has already said that the Earth is going to be over by 2030. So what the hell do we believe, Steve?
Yep.
I don't know.
So he's saying all of Amazon is going to be like delivered in a Prius, or like what? How's it going to be delivered?
Yeah, well, let's take a look at the article. I got to put on
cardboard?
the readers.
Oh wait, you'd have to put it in plastic. That's oil based.
Well, I mean, obviously they got to deliver everything. They take planes and trucks and vans to ship, the billions of items all over the world. Mm-hmm. That's a fossil fuel, right? So, it's. Yeah, okay. That's what they call a pipe dream, because it ain't gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not realistic.
And first of all, there's just nothing that's there. There's nothing that's there. Hey, when I say climate change, and I don't care who gets pissed off, climate's change. That's what happens. It's called seasons. According to Yahoo Finance, the global superfood market will grow by $200 billion from 2019 to 2023, and experts agree that eating superfoods is the easiest way to get nutrient-dense foods, and the best part is it's all natural. Most of the time, the trick is finding a product with the best quality ingredients, no extracts, and the USDA seal. That's why we trust in Field of Greens from Brickhouse Nutrition. Just one scoop of Field of Greens has the full serving of real USDA-certified organic fruits and vegetables, and it can assist with immunity, reducing your risk of heart disease. It's prebiotic, it's probiotic, and it is a great source of vitamins, minerals, fiber, and other nutrients. With Field of Greens, there is no counting pills. You just put one scoop in a glass of water, stir, and you are done. So go to BrickhouseChad.com. Save 15% off your first order with the offer code CHAD. Even better, if you sign up for a recurring subscription, you can save an extra 10% every month. Build a better you, Natalie. One brick at a time. BrickhouseChad.com. BrickhouseChad.com. Offer code CHAD. We'll be back. As a parent, I realize we'll just do anything for our kids.
Yes.
We'll cut somebody's throat. We'll come after you, right?
A little bit.
We'll come after you.
Yeah.
You had an episode that happened because you were where, Atlanta?
I was in Atlanta this last weekend for a cheer competition.
Yeah, and you had your daughter with you. What happened? You were getting on a plane, and what happened?
I did. So this is a Southwest flight.
Oh, we're going to name names. All right.
Well,
let's get down and dirty. No, it's Southwest.
Southwest.
We're coming for you, Beck. Southwest.
You're going to know it anyway, because on Southwest, you fly, they order A, B, C.
Mm-hmm.
I was B-22. My daughter was C-58.
Okay.
She's 10 years old. So and we travel all the time. And they'll allow her to get on with me at B-22 because she's 10 years old. Anyway, I got up to hand the lady the ticket before you get on the jetway. And she gets mine. It's great. She gets my daughter's. And she goes, oh, she's going to have to wait and get on the plane at C-58. I said, she's 10 years old. And she said, I know, she's going to have to wait. I said, I'm not leaving my daughter in an airport where you are running every 30 minutes a human sex trafficking PSA over the loudspeaker. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, you can wait and get on with her. I said, well, then we won't be able to sit together because it's first come, first serve on this plane. Now, that might be the rule at Southwest, but I've never had a ticket taker not have enough emotional intelligence to realize, let the 10-year-old get on with her daughter.
Yeah.
You got to take it, step by step. Anyway, people in the line started backing us up. And they're like, let her get on the plane with her mother. Like everybody didn't care, And so anyway, I said, no, we're going to wait till C-60.
This is how riots begin, Mark.
but
right here, this is how riots begin, buddy.
I can imagine 50 cheerleader moms ganging up on one ticket taker.
So
there are groups you don't want after your ass, and let me tell you, that is one that would top my list.
I don't feel like I was unreasonable in asking for that for my daughter.
I agree.
Another mother, she took the lady's ticket, went on the jetway, then she ran down there and said, I need to double check one of your tickets. So she pulled them off the jetway, which they had already gone on, and I'm over there huffing and puffing because I'm waiting for C60. And she pulls them off. But before she checks it and fixes it, she was in the B section, she let all of C1 through 30 go on. Now the mom's just getting fired up because she's not going to get to sit by her 2 children. She starts piping in, and I'm like, you're not alone. Anyway, the poor lady, I shouldn't say poor because that's what you get. I mean, quit acting like a brand new cop who can't wait to give a speeding ticket out. Like, you're power hungry.
Rules are rules, Natalie.
I know. You're
rules
right.
Rules are rules. You got to obey them. This is a
true.
Trump dictatorship we live under now.
I didn't go total mama bear because, she does have enough power to probably not allow me to get on the plane.
Yeah.
So I did keep it in check, but she did know that there were a lot of cheer moms who were not happy at that moment. She probably didn't care.
You should have used her, hey, I'm Hot News Natalie.
Yeah, I don't know that she's our audience. But
that doesn't have a lot of street cred?
I don't know. I don't think she was your target audience, Chad.
Okay. Enough said.
Yeah, I mean, if you know who
we
might
know our
recognize,
demographic.
Yeah, if they can redneckignize us, she didn't redneckignize me. She did not. Somebody.
That's where we live, people.
Yeah,
that's where we live.
Someone at the airport did redneckignize me.
Yeah,
very nice gentleman named Michael came up, knows the Chad Prather Show, so that was awesome.
The thing that bugs me, and we're in the airport every week. The thing that bugs me, air travel doesn't bug me. The airport bugs me. There are certain elements that are just, I hate the rental car shuttles. Hate the rental car shuttles. Just being crammed on those buses with all the gear we have to travel with and just people breathing in your face and then being the way they are when it stops and they're trying to get to their bags. And it's like, just be patient. We're trying to get all this stuff out of your way. Hate them. But the airport, if you just wouldn't scream at us like we're 5-year-olds, and I'm talking to the TSA.
Yes.
And I don't want to pick on the TSA. They're there to do a job. It's a worthless job. Look, I'm not saying you're worthless. I'm just saying what you do, I don't believe in it. Now, I have to be careful what I say to the TSA because we get recognized all the time, and I don't need your BS coming after me. But you don't have to scream at people like they're 2 years old.
Belittling.
Yeah. You don't have to do that. I mean, look, I'm sitting here. I'm TSC pre-check. I'm a member of CLEAR. You don't have to scream at me about what needs to come out of my bag and that my shirt or my jacket needs to come off, whatever, that my boots need to come off. And then the tone, the condescending tone in which you do it, it really makes me want to pinch your head off.
Beep.
So and it does.
There's one city that's worse than all of them that we've traveled this year so far.
They're just power hungry.
Houston.
Oh.
Everyone we dealt with in Houston had attitude.
Some of them are okay.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, yeah, okay, you're flying out of Sydney, Montana. We trust you're not going to fly in any buildings. You know why? Because there's not any.
Right.
Just get on the freaking plane.
The same person checks the bag for you, puts it on the plane for you, and flies the plane.
Right.
They're nice.
It's like Chad Thornsberry, our buddy, who does some shows with us every now and then, has got that bit about when they weigh your bags. And I've been on those where they have to weigh you because the plane's so small. They got to place you. And so he said this great big woman was in front of him. And they said, how much do you weigh? And she said, 140 pounds. And he said, they said, are you ready to get on the plane? He said, not till you get her back here because there ain't no way. She weighs 140 pounds.
I'm not 140 pounds.
I understand that.
He's standing behind her waving your arms. No.
So, I just... don't be so condescending. That's the deal.
Yeah.
Don't be. We're doing everything we can. And by the way, let me tell you something. TSA cannot make me run this through the conveyor. They cannot make me run this hat through the X-ray. I know guys in rodeo who travel with a little laminated card with euros on them, and they'll show it to you, and they'll say no. And I have them every now and then. LA's the worst. Chicago is next. New York is terrible. There's certain other places. LA is the worst, though. Like, by God, how dare you wear a hat in here? And I'm like, look here, man. You can't make me send this hat, which, by the way, is I'm not even going to tell you what it retails for.
Much as the X-ray machine.
Yeah.
I ain't going to tell you what this hat retails for.
Right.
And you're asking me to send it through on that dirty conveyor, which every time when it comes out, it's going to have a black mark on it. It doesn't fit in your stupid bins. And I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I
don't want to do it.
I don't put my ball cap in there either. I wear it.
Right, exactly.
And I'll take it off and hand it to them as I walk through the.
You stand there.
Yep.
They look at you naked through the deal. You hold your hands over your head, and then you hand them the thing. They feel in here for whatever they're feeling for.
They're feeling
and half
for
the
drugs.
time, with some of them, they pull the satin out right here out of the thing, and I'm like, this is why I don't want you to touch it.
Right.
They always do this right here, but I see them, they'll pull that back in the front where the.
I mean, come on. We're not Peaky Blinders here. We're not carrying razor blades in our cowboy hats.
Meanwhile, you can fly without your ID. I've done it twice. You actually can. I was in Florida. My friend and I, she held my license for me. I forgot it. I was flying back from another cheer competition from Summit, and I got there, went through security. I did not have my ID because it was still in her wallet, but I had my state registered or issued license to carry, and I gave them that, and they go, "That's not going to work." I said, "It's state registered. Like that was given to me from the state," and they're like, "Nope, it's got to be your driver's license." I'm like, "What if I don't drive?" That's not going to work. But I have flown twice. You just have to go through additional screening and background. I've flown twice without having my picture ID. Meanwhile, your hat's being ripped apart by TSA.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm going to pull out my permit next time to see, because it looks like a driver's license.
Your LTC?
Yeah.
They're not. They supposedly, this guy was like, "Nope, does not work."
I'm going to see if
it's
they
very
pay
frustrating.
attention.
That's frustrating.
It's all frustrating.
It's frustrating.
I mean, that is. I want to fly in private. I want to fly private jet. That's the deal.
Well, that's just not environmentally friendly.
Oh God, I'm messing up my microphone, Mark. But anyway, back to the point. I'm going to make it really quick. We'll do anything for our kids. And apparently, the Boy Scouts is declaring bankruptcy because they're not going to be. I mean, they're going to have to pay out all these lawsuits for the sexual abuse and harassment and stuff like that.
How far are they going back on that? You never know.
You're not getting any money, Steve. Statute of limitations. And if you enjoyed it and asked for it, Steve. So I'm just saying, I got a son that's about to be an Eagle Scout, and we've invested a lot of money, and I'm going to need him to hurry up and get those badges.
Sure.
Let's get this thing knocked out. Let me tell you, my wife is so supportive of it.
She is.
She's involved with all of it. She's going to be an Eagle Scout before him.
Is she a den mother? Is that what they still call them den mothers?
No, they don't call him a den mother. She's one of them. She's joined the cult. She's joined the cult.
It's impressive.
So
Don't
anyway,
touch the boys.
I had to get that out. I apologize. We'll be right back. Hey, folks, as you know, we appreciate you tuning in, subscribing, leaving a good rating and a review. 5 stars, because that's what we deserve. You got to do that where podcasts are offered. You know what really ticks me off? Really ticks me off. Stu Burgier comes out with Stu Does America, and bam, he just jet rockets, shout to the top of the charts. The thing that makes that happen is it's a ratio process. When you go into places like Apple Podcasts and you leave a rating and a review, it tells them that you're interested in the thing, and so they give you a higher ranking. So we tend to hover around the 150 mark, which is a great place to be in rankings when you talk about all the podcasts that are out there. But and then on day of air, we typically bump up into, in the top 100. I'd really like for us to kind of get up there and just go after Glenn Beck. Coming for you, Beck. But I want you to come out and find us on the road. You get my tour schedule, watchchad.com. We're not anywhere for a few weeks. We're going to be in Elk City, Oklahoma, coming up in March. Then we're going to be at CPAC here in 2 weeks, Washington, D.C., so you can hang out with me, Party Foul Steve, and Bougie Sean. But go to watchchad.com, get all the fun stuff that's there, and even access to the podcast. Click subscribe right now on YouTube. Stay tuned for exciting things, and we're going to be keeping having fun with you. Get Blaze TV, blazetv.com. Get it right now. We love y'all. God bless. Talk to you next time. Bye.